Coach McCreary from Baseball by the Art. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video tip is for base runners. Now, one of the problems that all base runners face when they are at first base is how do you handle a left-handed pitcher who has a very good pickoff move? Now, one of my pet peeves as a coach, actually two of my pet peeves that I cannot stand, it drives me crazy, is when a runner is at first base and they were not given the steal sign, so they're not going anywhere. The first one is when they get picked off by a left-hander. There is no excuse for a base runner to get picked off at first base by a left-hander if he is not stealing on the pitch. There's no reason. I don't care how good the left-hander's pickoff move is. It is inexcusable. The next thing that drives me crazy is when the guy's not stealing, he's not going anywhere, the left-hander goes through his motion and throws home, and the base runner is going back to first base as the throw is coming home plate. It's another thing that drives me crazy, and I do not allow it with my base runners. Now, if you are a base runner at first base, there's only two things you need to do so that you never get picked off by a left-hander and you don't even go back to the base as the pitch is being thrown home, which again is another pet peeve of mine. And all you have to do is watch the pitcher's shoulders and drop an anchor. So I'm going to go with drop an anchor first. If I am not going anywhere, there's a phrase by coaches, they will say, drop an anchor over there at first base. You don't even have to shorten up your lead. But if you're still not very comfortable, you're not very confident in your footwork, you can always take a slightly shorter lead. But it should not be a 2-foot lead. I don't care how good the pickoff move is by the left-hander. You can take a somewhat normal lead and just, as they say, drop an anchor, which basically means I am not moving. When I get into my lead here in my position, I am not going to lean right, I am not going to lean left, I am dropping an anchor and I am staying right here until I am absolutely, positively, 100% sure that left-hander is throwing home. If I do that, I'll never lean this way, and again, I'll never be going back to first base when he makes the throw to home plate. So the first step, drop an anchor. The second step is watch the shoulders of the left-handed pitcher, okay? So if the camera there is first base and I'm a left-handed pitcher, okay, I can do anything I want with my head, I can do anything I want with my feet, all my motion, whatever I want, I can step on a 45-degree angle, but if I want to throw to first base, I have to keep my shoulders squared to first base. I can do all this stuff, and as long as my shoulders are squared to first base, I can throw to first base. Okay? So you disregard anything the pitcher does with his head, you disregard anything he does with his hands, you disregard anything he does with his feet. All you need to focus on is the left-hander's shoulders. As long as his shoulders are squared to you, he still has the ability to throw to first base. Now, so I've dropped an anchor at first base and I'm watching his shoulders. And I don't care what he's doing, I have dropped an anchor and I'm not going anywhere until I see this. When his shoulder turns to throw to home plate, now his shoulders are squared to the catcher. When I see his shoulders square to home plate, that's when I can come off and take my secondary lead. But I do not do that anytime sooner, because if he has his shoulders squared, they're not in this position, they are squared to first base, he can still come over to first place. Okay? So the two tips, mandatory tips of all base runners, and you will never get picked off by a left-hander, I don't care how good his move is. Drop an anchor at first base and tell yourself, I'm going to take my lead, and I am not moving a muscle until I see what he's doing. Either he's going to throw to first base, and I'll be able to get back, or I notice that he has completely squared his shoulders to the catcher, and now I know it's safe to take a lead. Now, of course, if I wait too long, I might not be able to take a very good secondary lead, but it is a heck of a lot better than coming back to first base when the ball is being thrown to home plate there. So do those 2 tips and you'll never run into those problems. As I said, there aren't many things that drive me more crazy with base runners than those things from a left-hander, okay? So pay attention to those 2 things, practice it, work on it, and you'll never get picked off again by a left-hander. All right, folks, again, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed today's tip, and until next time, have a good day, everybody.